Hey guys, I hope your week is going well. I just wanted to quickly address a good question in regards to one of the questions on your exam for this week. Generally speaking, the question is asking, or it makes the statement about personality, or the definition from your book, which says that personality, relatively speaking, tends to remain stable over time. And the question, from what I remember, is basically asking you, do you agree with that? Yes or no. If you do not, why? Okay. Or if you do, why? Now, if you remember, in terms of lecture and in terms of our class, there's many different theories in terms of our personality development and how it may remain the same or may change. One of the particular things that I talked about was the idea that we are born with a particular temperament. When we talked about Thomas and Chess, and based upon that temperament, if you remember, easy temperament, difficult baby, easy baby, I meant to say, difficult baby, slow to warm up baby. We could say or argue that we may obtain particular types of traits. All right. And again, there's just so many variables that are really involved in this. But if you're an easy baby, so to speak, you may, or it may be more easier, or you're more apt to obtain positive traits, for lack of, again, we're kind of stereotyping here and generalizing. But, if you're an easy baby, you'll obtain those easy or positive traits more easily. Things like being personable, being friendly, and whatnot, because you're an easy baby. And an example, your parents don't have a difficult time raising you, so to speak. On the flip side, you may be a difficult baby. And because of that, you may be in a situation where you may more easily obtain quote unquote negative traits. So being, not personable, being grouchy, or, things along those lines. Why? I mean, one argument could be, well, because you're such a difficult baby, your parents had a difficult time raising you. So you weren't maybe necessarily exposed to many opportunities, and so forth. Again, one of the things that we keep in mind is social context. So you may be born a difficult baby, but you may be in a loving, caring environment. So you're more apt to obtain those positive traits. On the flip side, you may be born an easy baby, but be in a horrible situation. So you're more likely to obtain those quote unquote negative traits. Now, again, we put together temperament and traits that really makes your overall disposition, and that's really how we perceive life. That the argument is that that's how we perceive life, that's how we go about life, and so forth. So you may have a pretty easygoing, pretty laid back disposition. You may be someone who's very uptight, very easily triggered in terms of anxiety, things like that, in terms of your overall disposition. And again, going back to the book says that a personality tends to be relatively stable over time. One of the arguments that's been brought up is no, that our personality actually changes throughout our life. And that is based upon things such as our social context. That's based upon things like things we are exposed to, trauma, socioeconomic conditions, name it, that those may influence our overall personality, so to speak. Some people may say that our disposition, our personality, however we choose to define it, may change based upon the setting in which you simply are in. So that's really what I'm looking for in terms of this question. Don't really overthink it. Do you agree with the overall definition that your book is saying that no, our personality is pretty set, throughout our life, doesn't change, relatively stable, or does our personality change over an extended period of time, in terms of things we're exposed to, things we come across, age, physical illness, whatever it may be. Best identify those things, and so forth, and that should give you a good structure in terms of how to answer it. If you have any further questions, definitely feel free to shoot me an email, and hopefully I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.